So another big event, another opportunity to chit chat. So we had PWC final last month. Now started last month. I would have been able to do this earlier, but I've had a horrendous flu for a few weeks now, so I'm only just lifting it. It's only just lifting now. So um, there was 2 rounds. There's a qualifier and a final. Each had 3 CMPs, so it was a uh, quick event. The whole thing was held during the night. I think the 99 event was something like 4 a.m. So, but this was 7, so this was a little bit more reasonable. And you see, the qualifier. I think there was 2 rounds. There's two groups of 18, and the top 10 from each went through. So it was a pretty decent turnout actually. So a couple of names should stick out. I think that's Nashorn at the back of Falcon. He was in GGP as me. This Magenta Ray is actually pretty good. At least he beat me today or earlier today. Mianwei, I think he won an event. Moonweed, played against him many times. DSK, Fox main, Full Color, and then Umog, and then Hori. So a lot of these players you've seen before. Very good collection of players. So here we are. Yeah, I think I'm just going goose. No, I'm not the only one going goose. Definitely Big Blue 2 Light 1 2. I think goose isn't so good for white lands, but I think it's very good for Big Blue 2 and good enough for Deathwind. So it's it kind of makes it sort of makes sense. I think Falcon is a strong choice. Ray probably isn't, because you don't really want to be Ray in Whiteland 2. It's a little bit. Ray is just very slow getting going, so unless you can do the double jump well, you might struggle. And I see you get a good start. So I think there's an argument to be made about how Goose starts. I think there is some statistic somewhere buried in the code where Goose is actually given a stronger start, sort of by it's strong. It's fast off the line, even though it accelerates slowly when it gets going. It's actually fast off the line. So there, if you get a clean start, even if you don't get back bump, you're still going to be ahead. And I think all 3 geese being ahead is kind of indicative of that. But ultimately, when the race keeps on going, the Falcons are going to be ahead because they just have that. That was. I have to go through that again. That was really interesting moment with the bumper and the boost. But yeah, as the race goes on, the Falcons just are stronger because the boost is stronger. But I'm not that bothered about Falcons. Try and keep them behind me, but the main thing is getting past this goose because I think I can beat him. Yeah, you can see they're just getting swamped by the Falcons. But the question is, did he run out of? Can they run out lap? They get ahead of him. That bumper is trolling everyone. I think, yeah, the goose falls back. And then somehow I get ahead of DSK. I don't know how that happened. But that was a weird one. Right, let's, yeah, so 4th excellent start. I'm really nervous going into this because the thing about qualifying, I think you only messed up. Particularly when you kind of expect to do well. I mean, I don't really think it's easy to qualify, but I do expect to do fairly well at this point. Where is it? We'll see at the end of this corner. The next boost after here. Basically, the bumper and I. Yeah. So, this bumper was just perfect. Really badly timed to that, so that it run over the boost just as I got there. So yeah, oh god, it's all going to crap. But you can sort of see I had to. Yeah, he's just as I got there, the bumper was sitting on that boost. and I had to slide right and slide in front of it just to get away from that. So, oh, that's not good. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, look at that again. That's that was pretty good. If I'd have just gone normally, I would have just driven into it, and then I would have been. Now, you know, the thing about that is this kind of looked very comfortable overall. But if I'd have messed it up, I probably would have. I could have easily ranked out, and certainly would have lost a lot of positions. So yeah, stuff like that makes a big difference. Those little decisions. Yeah, look at that. I start first this time. Isn't that nice? So something about the starting position affects how fast you get off the line. The further back you are, the better you start. But the downside is that you'd obviously, when being at the back means no one can bump you as easily. Being at the top first you can, but I don't get any. I get one there. Yeah, and I use my usual strategy. It's not quite the fastest. The fastest involves you hitting like a jump after, just after the gap. So if you mess it up, you might crash. But that's the safest way to do it. Yeah, again, this is qualifying, so you want easy, quiet races with no drama. I think I'd be a bit annoyed if I let these falcons beat me, but I'm not quite full casting them. I'm not really doing that well. I'm just happy to get through it. And then here come the rays. That's the thing. There's quite a few rays, and they seem to be back bumping each other and helping each other, which is not really what you want. You want you kind of, when you're not playing Ray anyway, you want them to sort of just be languishing at the back. That's the thing about playing Goose, you're sort of looking for back bumps. And Falcons are the best at delivering that. Rays are too slow and Foxes are too fast. Falcons tend to be just where you need them at the start of the race. Yes, there we are. Third, joint third. Can't complain with that. Whiteland 2. I would say a difficult one for Goose, precisely because it's just hard to maintain speed through the center area. But you can do it. I think Goose, in some cases, can preserve speed better than Falcon. It's just really hard. And there's not many places you can actually do it at all. And this is really one of them. You're really looking for a back bump. But we get a great start. The thing about this is usually we see Whiteland 2 as the middle race of the finale's GTP or CMP, which means the top 12 get through. So it's a little bit more lenient, but here the top 8 go through. So you're sort of thinking about it a little differently. I at the start of this race, you know, you obviously in the first lap rather, you've got a choice of a double jump. And you just might have seen that I got a back bump just when I needed it, so I didn't worry. But there's a logic there that says, well, since it's the final race and top 8 is harder than top 12, you probably want to hit the double jump. You're probably more willing to hit the double jump and take the risk than you are in this second lap of the finales. But not, you can see, well, maybe you guys missed it, but if you saw Mianwi and that Falcon, they just were able to take so much time out of me just running up through that chicane. Then they made a mistake. But you can see the other Falcons, they're totally gone. I really can't compete with them. Even though not exactly slow, it's just, they're just faster. They just preserve more speed. I hit that red, didn't help. Just preserve way more speed through the middle section. and the other falcons are catching up. So I haven't really made a mistake. I've done fairly well, but holding third is all you can do. So a really good start. A really good start to CMP. Let's go back to... yeah, let's just see here. So, kind of the trouble of playing Goose is shown here. We've got 2 falcons in a ray right in front of us. And I hit that, so I go a bit slower than I would like. But you can see just how easy it is for them just to run away. And, you know, by the time we get here, DSK is like gained a second or so on me. So, it's kind of this really problem with Goose. And here, I think... I get a back bump there, so I was lap 1. So without that, I might have had to go for a double jump. And finally, let's watch this nonsense again with the boost, not boost, the what you call it, the bumper. So at this point, I know I'm going to hit this bumper. Or I know it's very likely I'm going to hit this bumper. So I don't want to rush. I actually just want to hit it and ensure that when I've finished sort of the stun, like being stun locked, I'm in the right direction. That's all I can really do. Yeah, and then I just prepare for that and take it like that. So sometimes, actually the second time, I hit the same red in the last classic event in GGP. So for some reason I hit that a lot. I hit that red a lot. And when you do, you just gotta relax. You know? It's a good thing about classic is that you can hit a red and it's not actually the end. In contrast to 99, where hitting the red can kill you. But joint seconds, that's really, really good. And 2 geese on the podium, so maybe it was a good goose CMP. This one, a little harder to judge. Mute City 4 is a really strange one. I think it's just a... it's probably just a Falcon track, but anyone seems to be able to win it. It's hard to. So the reason I'd say it's Falcon track is because they're able to boost out of the final corner easier. The DSK is going Fox, so I mean, if you're good at Fox, you can be consistent because you don't have to go full for all this crap. Like he's the only Fox. He's knows he's going to start near the front, whereas I'm fighting off people because I didn't get as good a start as I'd like. So I think I'm basically, oh yeah, so that's the key thing actually. As Goose, you gotta maintain speed out of that corner, and we see how good that was. It's the critical thing with Mute City. Time trial as well. If you really want to get good, not so much for MC4, but certainly the other 3, you gotta learn how to do the nag turn out the final corner. That's super deep. That's a very cowardly line, but it's what I tend to do in the races there, because I did have that one race where I bonked the inner corner and ranked out. So I do. And Moonweed crashes out. So Moonweed is certainly one of the stronger players here. We'll have to see what happened there. So on the left, you may have seen the wreck of Moonweed. Another mystery. I don't know what happened. Maybe disconnected. I don't know. But that's a shock, and it's just a bit of a shame as well. But yeah, obviously I'm losing time. The Falcon's is faster. There's a ray here for some reason, but I get 2 places because of that red. So lucky me. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So that's how it is. Let's go back. I think the first lap. So we're 8th here, and by virtue of the fact we don't hit that bumper and we have a good line, you know, you've got to start. You've got to basically blast turn while you're still boosting. But because of that, we're basically third, and really it's second because, you know, DSK's and Fox for whatever reason. So just watch it again. You gotta sort of start turning in there and let go, and then pick up acceleration when you've turned. And you do that, you'll be 460. And so I don't know why people don't do that, but I sure do. And then finally, I if you didn't see it, Woodweed somehow ended up crashed out there, which is a shame. And I have no idea how he ended up crashing out in the pit. in a classic. but there you go. Maybe he just took a lot of damage and gave up. I don't know. It's a shame. And it shows how easy it is, right? It happened to me. Happened in the same track, you know. I kind of messed up qualification. That's just the way it goes. But it shows that anyone can get through and anyone can crash out. There's no certainties here. RC1 is a yeah. Well, you get a good start. It doesn't matter who you are, you'll be okay. But it's not really a goose track. But I do like playing it. It's probably one of my favorite tracks. So the way it works, that you've got to, as Goose, and you've got to go over that rough and try and preserve speed. But what's annoying is that the bumpers are always in the way, so you don't get the line you want. I crash into a wall for reasons I don't understand. I lose lots of space. I'm not getting back bumps until quite late in that corner, in that little straight. So I take the cowardly way and I boost late. And you can see I'm already in the sixth position. I'm further down than I'd like. And you know, only top 12 gets in, so you know, I'm sort of taking a gamble by not boosting there. But suddenly it's like, okay, well, I actually have to be careful, because any mistake is going to rank me out. Even the smallest mistake is going to rank me out. And look at that, 10th, 11th. So sometimes, you know, the safe strategy is not the right strategy. I probably should have boosted early. Okay, I think we have a recording issue. Great. So I boost early there, and this is what you're supposed to do. You sort of hit one rough, hit the other rough. And you'll see I actually gained a little... yeah, so I went from 11th to 8th in that last lap because I boosted well. So I probably should have done that. But it's a risk, and you gotta judge how much risk do you actually want. So I think maybe the last lap we'll just look at. Yeah, so boost early. Oh, got this error. So you want to sort of hit the edge of this rough. You don't want to hit this sort of edge electricity thing, but you want to hit this rough, and then like that. It's a little bit harder than I'd like, and I overturned, but it's okay. And then you want to realign yourself, sort of thread this needle here between the rough, and then you want to go over the rough. The easiest way is just to go over the rough and use it to stop you hitting to the wall, but you don't actually need to do that. You can, yeah, you can actually not do that and turn the corner, which I did in my time trial on the first lap. But it's sort of a fluke. I did it once by accident. But you can actually without back bumps you can be at like 4.45 or something coming out of that corner. So if you can do that, nothing to stop you. But you can't really do it in a race because there's too many bumpers. So yeah, a lot of good players out. Silence 2, not a bad goose track. Again, it's definitely a Ray is better kind of track, where if a Ray gets a good start, you're not dealing with them. But DSK gives me 2 bumps, and that's all I need. So it's very kind of him. Yeah, that's one big difference. You're probably... It is possible to go over that, sort of, to jump over the gap. Lap 1 without a back bump or without many back bumps, but it's very hard. You've got to sort of go around the outside, if that makes sense. Because if you turn too sharply, you got to hit the outside of the jump. Because if you turn too sharply, you'll actually lose too much speed. And DSK, I think I made him crash out there, but whatever. We're winning, so we can't complain. Yeah, we're already at the part where the races are just... I have a huge lead. no one can hit that bumper. Well, I think the Ray appears. I think we're going to see a Ray right behind us. Or was it 2? Oh no, 2 falcons. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I've packed. Well, I mean, I am in the middle of time trialing all of the tracks, and I've just done this one. So, one thing I was always doing wrong was I wasn't cutting that corner enough. I'll look at that again. Because, well, let's go back to lap 1. So here, you see I don't cut it at all because I'm not going fast have by the time I hit it, I've lost so much speed. If I tried to cut this, I wouldn't make it. You've got to be a little higher, or you've got to have a better angle. You can just cut the edge of it, but it's kind of not worth it. Yeah, and then here, it's hard because of the bumper, but you've got to then avoid it and hit avoid electricity right out. And you see how much speed. I actually had more speed than DSK. That's which obviously eventually I accelerated past them, but the point was, as soon as I came out of that, I had more speed, and somehow I knocked them out. So let's see what I want to look at. I want to look at. I forget actually, but in the overlaps is different. This corner, yeah, that was it, right? So, what do you want to do here? Well, you want to be really close to this mine. You want to sort of point a little bit in the left, and when you get close, you want to sort of let go of A and slide turn in. You want to avoid this, and you want to try and hit the middle. So I'm not turned enough, so I'm not turning far enough to the left, and I take it really safe. So I cut like this, but you can cut to there. If you do that properly, you can cut up to here. So I'm giving up quite a big distance by not cutting that, but I'm first, so I don't care. It's easy as Falcon, right? That's definitely the one part of the track where Falcon's going to catch up if they can do that jump better. And same as there, that's kind of a really scared corner cut or skip. We could have turned far more than that. But anyway, at second, that's not bad at all. So we've had 2 podiums so far, 2 seconds actually so far. So I'm thinking, looking at people who've been knocked out and the lack of consistency for most of them, I probably have 1 foot in the final already. But of course, I'm not going to take any chances. But unfortunately, this is Sand Ocean. So this is this awkward GP or CMP where you start with Sand Ocean, but you end with Deathwind 2. So it starts off really strong for Ray, ends really weak for Ray. And it's really a Falcon track. Sand Ocean is a Falcon track before it's a Goose track, and it might be one of the maybe the only track where Ray is better than Falcon, but Falcon's also better than Goose, and it's because of you've got all these stupid corners, and they're hard to do. But we get a really great start. How am I going to mess this up is what you need to be asking. Yeah, and I scrub a lot of speed there, so I don't do good exit there. Having time trialed this, I know you can do this differently, but I wouldn't dare try it in a race. You can actually escape sort of the first corner in that section above 430 if you get it perfect. But you see, there goes Moonweed. Super strong player. Obviously had a very rough thing so far. Yeah, so I try and get back bumps, but the problem is I lose the line. That bumper was in the way, and I couldn't hug the left because I'd just be knocked into it. I really should have boosted there, and it would have been fine. But as you can see, I've gone from 1st to 12th, and even here, I'm going to be 10th. As the other thing about boosting is that there's a bias towards boosting early, regardless of the track and regardless of the vehicle. Because if you boost early, that means I'm ahead of other people and they can back bump me. This seems to be true. For whatever reason. It's just you'd think it's if you don't boost first. we think it wouldn't matter, but for some reason I always find that if you boost later, you'll if you boost earlier rather, you'll get the benefit of, you're more likely to get a benefit of back bump, assuming you don't make any mistakes. It seems to be here boosting early is better than boosting late. It's something about this track maybe that it's just easy to get back bumps this end sets apart. And if you're boosting, I guess it's numbers, right? If 80% of the people boost early, they're going to back bump each other ahead of you. They're going to keep themselves ahead, but you're stuck at the back waiting to boost later, and no one's back bumping you. So it's something about the way the pack moves. The pack sort of blobs together, and because of the magic of netcode, two people could give each other back bumps at the same time. But you can see how hard that is for Goose. We all finished 9, 10, 11. That's three of the best Goose players, I'd say, and we're all sort of languishing in midfield. But now it gets better. Port Town 1 is definitely a balanced track. It's not an obvious raid track. It's not really a well, it's certainly a good Falcon track, really, but it's not really, it's not like Sand Ocean. So the theory is that we can actually do a little bit better. I kind of don't understand why you'd switch to Goose. Like, for this CMP, if I was switching machines, I would have gone Falcon. So I'm not sure why you'd go something else and then switch to. Well, I guess DSK was going Fox, right? So yeah, that's an annoying bumper. I couldn't really do anything about that. You just gotta accept it. But we get another back bump. So that was a roller coaster lap. And then we do fine. I mean, as it's hard to maintain speed in a race. You just got more bumpers. Just sit in the line and hurt it and make it so it's not really doable. There he comes and there he goes. Black Ray. I mean, you're only boosting there if you made a mistake, so sometimes panic boosting can just compound it. Compound the issue. Particularly in Classic. I think he ranks out, yeah, there you go. So, beware the panic boosts. I think I'm happy with this. It's a pretty good race. Not made any mistakes. Not really. Haven't really dropped that much speed going through the corner, so fourth, no problem with that. And you can see how quick that is actually. Is that even a second? 2 seconds? That's everyone, and we see the rank up. So that's not long. That shows you it's competitive. Even if it's a qualifier, it's a very competitive field. So where am I now? Definitely moved up. And now I am 5th. So there's Mianwi on a sweep, another Ray in a podium. How many are they? How many of those Rays will even survive this final race? Keep on making that appear. Yeah, all the typical names at the front. You know, that's the top 6. You know, that you've won plenty of things there. Oh, yeah, I got an annoying back bump. That back bump, you gotta be wary about back bumps there because they can easily send you into the wall in front of you. And Moonwood gets a perfect start and he's basically gone. So I think, yeah, and this time we're actually behind that bumper, so we don't have to swivel around it like I did before. There's a choice here. Do you use a boost every lap or do you save a boost for lap 4? Because the end of lap 4 is very busy with bumpers. I think this Goose is awkward to navigate. But I think in this kind of situation you just gotta go as fast as possible and just take the risk. But sometimes if you've got a really good start and you're ahead of everyone, you can actually avoid the save the first bump, but save the first boost rather. But You got to be wary that if you save the boost and it brings you into traffic, it's very counterproductive. You could easily lose way more time just by getting sucked into the pack. So you've got to be aware of where you are in the pack and make sure you don't, put yourself into trouble that you don't need to be in. There goes another ray, and there is another ray. There he is. Somehow gaining positions here. Weed makes a little mistake there. We think that other goose. I think, is that flat? I'm not sure. It's his colours. So, for really excellent, overall excellent qualification. I'd what, like 1/10 and 1/8 for something, and everything else was really good. So 6th overall here. Moonweed does win a CMP after 2 pretty bad CMPs, but another survival. Can't complain. And here are the results. Okay, so here's the results of the qualifying, and amazingly, I won. I'm actually winning a CMP. I don't think I won a race either, but just good consistency. I for me, that kind of proves in this kind of event the strength of Goose. Just overall, you just are more consistent, and you are less going to be a victim of ranking out. You're not going to be the last Falcon in Red Canyon 2. You're not going to be the last Ray to get a back bump in Deathwind 2. You're always sort of there, and once you've got a good start, if you can manage it, you can just make it. You can survive, and that's the challenge, right? Can you actually hold a good position to actually finish? So we beat Manway in full color by 5 points, and as you see, that 10th place only had 430 points, so we already had qualified after 2 CMPs, and kind of see Moonweed in 11th, which is a big shame for him, but very competitive, very tough, really good qualifying. So commiserations or congratulations to everyone here. Here's the final lineup of the final, should say. A couple of new players from the other qualifiers to look out for. We have Venus, aka Morgie, in the Ray. We have Killer Jays and Master A1. Pink Pools, Perry G's. There's a few good players that have been added here from the other qualifier. And I think one player, I think Shelius didn't get through the qualifier somehow. So that's kind of a shame. Another strong player. So there you go. So full suite of 20, and we have what is a pretty good Goose. It's kind of a balanced GP. We've got a good Goose track. You've got a potentially good Goose track. Then we've got Whiteland 2 again. So we've got Whiteland 2 at the end twice. So right at the back, we're starting. A lot of go posting. And just like that, we are first. So there you go. So never complain about your starting position. You can always figure it out. And just avoid that red. That bumper's placed just to be a troll. But you can see the lead you've got at the bottom of the map. So I think this is probably the time to talk about just the event in general. Really good. I did manage to watch it. Or what I missed when I was asleep. Yeah, good. Kind of sad it would be the last one. Not that I've been able to get to Japan or anything. Be in the little box. It looks like the rather unappealing concrete box that they play in, but that's how it looks. I'm sure it's a very good venue. So yeah, so I don't know if there's going to be any more in-person events for this. Who knows? But yeah, Flan, Shraggy, and the others who help organise it. They'd organise all the PWC events. Big thanks to them. You see, they're only just catching up now. The race, so this is a very comfortable race for Goose if you get that good start. But yeah, no. A big thank you to everyone who organised it. But that's a really good start to the final. That means I'm winning overall. If we just stop now, I'd win. Unfortunately, there's 8 more races, so unfortunately, I can't just end it now. So let's look at the start again. I start right at the back. So let's work on the idea that I start stronger. So what I want to avoid doing is bashing into anyone else. So what you do, what I'm looking at here is, I know the Falcon's going to start stronger than I am, probably. Or at least I won't get ahead of them. But the Ray will get in the way. So step 1 is get past this Ray without hitting him. So I want to go around the right, so at least not shift to the left too early. Good. Now I want to shift to the left. And I notice that this black Ray here is moving to the right. So I go around to his left. So you can see that's happening there. And then there's a sort of gap that's going to emerge. This Falcon's going to go ahead, but the 2 Rays, there's a gap between them. And I just about managed to get through it. And as part of the deal, these 3 Rays we get past as well. And luckily this Falcon disappears as well. And that's it. And we're basically in clear air, relatively speaking. There's no Rays ahead. So we're able to get ahead of that Falcon, and we get kind of lucky. We see the opportunity for the back bump, we get it, and that's that. And we're so much faster, by the way, by this point. We actually phase through them, basically. Like, we're back bumping them, but they're like at 380 or something, so they're not actually getting much of a benefit because they're not fast enough yet. So we basically phase through them, and that's the end of that. So just watch it again. So it wasn't just random, it was actually me thinking, me using my brain to actually get what I want. It was a little bit lucky, of course, but you have to try and just avoid the Rays, basically. You don't want to be held up at all. And eventually you have such a strong overspeed that you can't really be back bumped, and you can't really back bump anyone else, you just plow through them. So pretty good. Alright, on to the next one. A lot of geese and a lot of rays. So because it's Big Blue, you can expect the field is going to have more rays and more geese than you would expect. Right? If it's depending on the track, where as opposed to Deathwind 1. So when you're looking at the races, you have to keep that in mind. Just because that you think, oh, you might be okay for a certain track, if it turns out that the field is tilted towards one vehicle or another, you might find it harder or easier later on. I mentioned this concept because it plays a big part in the middle in a minute. I do not do the high risk, high reward boosts where you boost early. I really should have. There's no reason not to, actually. I've practiced it enough at this point. So, yeah, so obviously I'll do the safe boost, but if you boost here, at this point, you actually can do that. But the problem is that bumper on the left, you can see, I just boost past it. If you boost quick, it'll block you because you have to take that line if you boost early. But I think I just yeah, I take it easy. So I think 2 rays went out there. Full color boosting early, a little early, but kind of not really worth doing. I think it's kind of, you may as well boost super early and get a big benefit, but whatever, he beat me there, so he must know what he's doing. 5th, pretty good. Let's see, where's that put us overall? Still winning overall by 15 points, so that's not bad. But this last track is kind of a, if I remember correctly, it's awkward, right? Yeah, it's right, Whiteland 2, right? So, not a super goose track, not a terrible track. But see, lots of rays, so I don't expect to win the race, but I expect to be near the front for most of the race, and then at the end, the rays are gonna the race to survive. We're gonna catch up, but we get a really great back bump. We're already past 400, and at that point, no one can really catch us unless another goose gets a back bump. Someone's behind us. Here's a falcon, but you can't quite catch up. So I'm just trying to fish for more back bumps. And now the scary point. Do I go for double jump? Do I get a back bump? What do I do? I don't. I get. I refuse. I'm too scared. I've been practicing it. There is a way to do it straight on, so you don't have. If you just tap up. If you're at like the 300 or so and you tap up, then you can sort of, without turning left or right, then if you miss it, you won't crash, but you'll give yourself a chance of getting it. But it won't be as fast as, you know, doing it sort of the proper way where you come from sort of deep to the left and you aim the very end of the jump and skip out part of the track. But it is faster because you accelerate better, you're landing it. You basically end up 460 much quicker. That's what you want. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, again, it's the same story as before. Falcon is good at this track, and with the best efforts, I just can't really catch up. And in fact, we see the rays can't really catch up either. So it's lap 3. We've got our first ray, and you know he's phasing through walls and all kinds, and he still can't catch them. But I think I was 15 points ahead of whoever was second, so that puts me well. Let's see, 155. There we go, first place. Another win for Goose. Big Blue is just such a strong Goose track. It's definitely the strongest Goose track. So, you know, you can win one, and that's really consistency. You know, if you can get that little bit of luck in one track, you can beat good races in the other two, and you can win, and you can beat the vehicles that have more potential, but just struggle to unlock the potential. So here we go, Sand Ocean, Whiteland 1, Silence 2. So I'm thinking this is a pretty good Goose CMP, actually. I think Whiteland 1 is a good Goose track. Mainly because it's got jumps, but it is a difficult track, but it can be quite quick. Then Silence 2 is another strong Goose track. But this isn't. So I'm thinking, well, honestly, those two tracks after, I'm not that concerned. There's no reason why I would not want to play Goose for them, so I may as well just stick with Goose. We get an okay start. I'm not the only Goose either, there's a few geese. So, but you can see how much time I lose, and I think Ubok makes a big error. But we'll get a great start, really. Can't ask for better than that. A lucky back bump at the end of that corner, or in this lap. Yeah, kind of I think I had to lift off the accelerator or the A button. I guess it's accelerator, but I'll call it the A button. This time I don't take any risks. I just take the boost early. But this can be annoying. Yeah, Ray's is just getting in the way, and I sort of get bullied into that bumper. So I've lost a lot of places. I'm just trying to get back into it. Thankfully, the Rays are pushing me forward, but there's not a lot of wiggle room here, and there's a lot of Rays around me. So at 12th, we got to be 16th. So this is kind of okay. Not great. Yeah, and that bump was knowingly placed. So down to 14th, and basically all the geese have fallen way back. And it's really... it's really close. There's one guy some way behind. I'm not sure what vehicle he is in. But this was the bogey track last time. Not surprised to see it an issue now. We go wide there, but we just about get away with it. So I need to see who came 17th there. But the geese just limped in. And yeah, I'm not convinced it's worth doing playing goose there. Who was 17th? Another goose. So we actually... Yeah, the Falcons actually went out first, and then you can see that as the race went on, the good start, the geese got sort of just ran out, and we all fell back and barely lived. Alright, so just want to highlight one thing that happened here. So when you get this first corner in whatever it's called, Sand Ocean, you want a nag turn, but it's a race, so if somebody knocks you when you nag turn, it's a bad thing. Also, it's wider. If you take the inside line, and I've mentioned this before, someone's going to hit you, because that's the point of the inside line. It's the line everyone's supposed to go in, so taking the inside line and hoping someone hits you is actually really a better strategy than actually driving it perfectly. Now watch Umog here. I believe he nag turns. He takes wide anyway, or at least Netcode thinks he's wide. So at this point, I've just gone on the inside. I've whatever it's called, boost turned, and I'm down. My speed is down to 431. I wait for the hits. I just get ahead of him, wait for the hit, and there we go. So it's funny how you know, it kind of awards in a race. You're awarded with this kind of behavior. There we go. So whether that's because he went wide, whether it's just Netcode thinking he was further back than he was, doesn't matter. It's your job to take advantage of it. You know, it's the same rules as everyone. But that probably was a good reason as to why I actually didn't rank out. Because if you look at the bottom, look at the gap. Look at the map. Actually, look at the map here. So here's before. We're all kind of bunched together. And the guy behind us is a goose. But suddenly, we're me and Umog, the teal goose, are miles ahead, and he's stuck in the back. So that, you know, I've been on the wrong side of that many times. And there's not much you can do about it. You just gotta keep on going. But you just see everyone sort of pushing each other forward, and you're sort of just cut off, and it's a very frustrating feeling. So we got a little bit lucky, but you know, you make your own luck as well. So maybe there's a lesson there that even Falcon will struggle in Sand Ocean. Even while I say Falcon's better than Goose, it actually takes a while for the Falcon benefit to make itself felt. Because Falcon can save so much speed through those sections. Right, it's an okay start. Don't need anyone get my way. And full color makes a big error. This is fine. This is fine. I can see, like Goose, if you can maintain speed through that corner, we can just catch up. But the Rays are already here. Of course, there's like 10 of them, and they're all backbumping each other and pushing them forward. And I get pushed wide because I see that bump and I don't want to hit it. And just like that, I go from whatever position I was in, 4th to 12th, which is obviously pretty bad because 12th is the, you know, is the only, it's kind of the is the cutoff point. So I'm really in trouble now. I sort of had a really bad exits, and I lost lots and lots of speed. And now I'm trying to catch up. And what we see is while you can see how much someone messes up the jump cut there. So that's the only reason you save them up. But you see how much I'm able to catch up to full color. Look at the gap there, and just see how I eat up the ground. So even though Goose is better here than Falcon, it's obviously Goose. Goose is obviously can be tricky. If you lose your momentum, you can struggle to recover it, and that's basically what happened in that second lap. And just look at that. I was basically half the gap between me and full color, but unfortunately, I ran out of time. So that was a big surprise, and that really was all because even though Goose is good at that track, Ray's better, and there were so many Rays there, they couldn't all crash out. So we had one Ray out. And then I think 1, 2, 3. I'm going to guess that's 10 Rays. Let's see. Oh, I just skipped to the end. Okay. Here's a way to check. Oh, here, yeah. Okay. Well, so 1, 2, 3 Rays there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9 Rays. 10 Rays. That's another Ray there. So that's 10 Rays. So, yeah, that can happen. If all of the... I really shouldn't have ranked out there, to be honest. I think I'm too good at the track, to be honest, at this point. And full color make a huge mistake. I should never let him back past me. But really, the problem is... I made one mistake, and I made 2 mistakes really, and they just compounded. So I'm thinking I basically get spooked by this bumper here. So I knew if I stayed in the inside of it, there's a good chance I would have been knocked in it. And getting knocked in risks hitting this wall at the back. You'd be stunned, it's on the ice, you get hit in the back, and it's over. What I probably should have done is take into account there are 10 Rays, or however many Rays there were. If I'd have cut the corner, one of them could have bumped me forward, and I could have stayed ahead of them, got back bumped forward, and instead of being here, it would have been here somewhere. But really, even if this mistake, going around the outside... really the error is this. But part of the error is that there's so many people around me that it's hard to find the line. And that's why. And that's a big shame, because obviously I won the first one. I didn't even make it to the final race here. So that's very frustrating. But you can see how much faster I am than full color. I mean, I do lose time there, but you can see in this lap, when there's a clear track, I can actually cut down the gap. He won. No, he ranked out in one of the GTP7 races. I ranked him out by a 10th in Red Canyon 2. So I suppose this is payback for him. But yeah, look at that. We half just a bit longer. But that's how it goes. Very unfortunate. And then finale's GP, because of course it is. Or CMP. But overall, I mean, we've other than the rank out, it's very good. And everyone is ranking out. No one is safe. It's a very competitive field. I'm not sure how many people have survived both the first two. Not that many, which is strange. When you consider it's 8 out of 20, we'll see in the final results how many people survive them all. DSK going Fox. Again, if you can do it, it's great because it's kind of consistent. You know, you don't have to worry about back bumps. You don't have to worry as much. You'll get a good start, and if you can hold it, you'll be fine. Kind of get knocked around a bit there. Yeah, that's a good first lap. It's a good first lap. That bumper was annoying. It's sort of wide, so I can't really take the line I'd like. Oh. That was unfortunate. We ended up at 460. I wasn't complaining, but it means I can do the much easier boost strategy. Boost strategy is very hard to do. You can very easily get messed up, which I did in GP7, I think. But here, yeah, I didn't cut that. Yeah, it's okay. I could do that better. But I do boost strategy. Yeah, I do. Yeah. So that's it. You boost into the wall and you bounce. And if you do it right, you can see how much time you gain on these Falcons. Falcons should have the big advantage here, but this is a good example of where a good Goose player can sort of counteract the weakness and actually overcome. Those pink balls are certainly not a bad Falcon player. Yeah, but we do get a bit sort of messed up, and we kind of limp over the line. We still keep second, but it wasn't exactly a great finish. Right. Where did DSK finish? 8th, okay. So, but another good result. Other than the middle one, we've done really well. But I got to think about that, right? If the number of rays reach a critical mass, then you might just be better off switching to ray. Yeah, and this is going to be a strong. Yeah, I mean, if Fox can get past that first race here, the next two are very good for Fox. And again, it's all about consistency. They can, DSK can consistently, break away and consistently get a lead, and consistently, survive. So, because it has such high acceleration, if you've got to make a turn or some kind of movement to get away from a bumper, it's far easier to manage it. Whereas Goose has the opposite problem. It can be very difficult. So easy enough if you can do it. Not everyone can. We got a weird back bump. I'm not complaining. But yeah, as has been the case, it's all about really struggle to catch up to these Falcons. So we've done Whiteland 2 3 times. Whiteland 2 3 times. But now these are killing the Rays. See, there's Venus down, or Morgie down in 13th, Maste 1 down 11th. And that's rank out territory. And even if you don't rank out, it's going to be hard for them to get a lot of points. But we keep one of the Falcons. This is really good. This is really good. And actually, it looks like I'm going to take. I don't actually know what happens. I don't remember. But it looks like we overtake one. There we go. So Morgie barely is hanging on to this one. Barely hanging on. And see how condensed the field is at this top 6 or top 5 now. So yeah, hold on, don't make mistakes. Really, really good. One of the best races. And there's Maste 1 just catching up, and Morgie down in 11th, I think. So barely limping over the line. Could easily have ranked out. But there's a Fox in first, so we're holding on the second. So it's looking like a very interesting podium with a Goose and a Fox in it. But that's not the first time that's happened. And it is usually, if it's not DSK in the Fox, it's someone like Taco. And I forget what I'm doing, and I hold on to the boost too long. Yeah, it's not been a lot to talk about this this set of CMPs. It's been pretty good, pretty simple, which is again it's good. It's kind of funny because I really never had much trouble except that one CMP. Pretty much every race, it was just was really strong, and you can see this is another strong start. So strong that we're sort of almost catching up with pink pools, but we kind of get scrub our speed away. But then full call goes, you know what, you go, and there we go. So yeah, I have to wonder aloud again. These back bumps. How much is it to do with netcode? Is my netcode just designed to get better back bumps than everyone else? I don't know. That bumper was an absolute troll. But again, it's better to lose a little bit of time than smack into it and lose a lot of time. So, to take the Y line. Boost kind of area. Yeah, I mean, I have been, you know, obviously as I try and time trial, I did attempt to catch to beat Foul's time. This classic, which is really, I'm nowhere near it. But one of the things is that you boost early, you sort of you go through that little bit of edge or a wall, and you boost early instead of sort of waiting to line up. You sort of do it very quickly. That's one thing I've been able to learn. Barely beat that bumper, and we overtake a few people. It looks like, well, must day one boosting really early. It looks like Pink Pools has just escaped from everyone. But there we go, he takes a bad hit. But he's back. Okay, he boosted really late, alright. I don't know how he got away with that. But we're leading into the final lap. How about that? And DSK down in 7th. So, this is a very fast race. I think DSK didn't really get... Oh, that was funny. This Mass Day 1 knocked him into a bumper. That was pre-calculated. I think this race is just very fast as Fox. Yeah, I take it easy. I've got a good lead over third. I probably can't catch A1, though in hindsight I could have if I had a... oh, I did catch him. Oh, but I didn't win. Oh yeah, that's why I didn't win. The other Ray beat me and I was not catching them. So, really good. 2 excellent CMPs and 1 not so excellent CMP. Let's look at this again. I forget what's going on. I hold A button too long. Now, I don't really know how it works. I think you have to deaccelerate under a certain point, and then everything accelerates normally. So in theory, if you get enough back pumps at that point, you'll be fine. So yeah, I get away with it. I don't think it's faster than doing it normally, but I get away with it. That's a weird one. Yeah, let's have one more look at it. I wonder how much that hitting into DSK actually made a difference. Because I was tired at this point. I was kind of just get over the last. Yeah, I'm under the speed, right? So I'm under. It's 137. What, 82? So I'm definitely under the threshold. At this point, I can start accelerating again. Yeah, actually, you know what? I think it was very important. I think DSK must have hit me just at the point where I go under the threshold, allow me to start accelerating. But it's not better. You don't really want to do that. But I do know, I do believe Master A1 has a video where he experiments with it, and he's playing around with it. That's his raid, that's in 99. It's not as Goose in Classic, but there you go. I just thought I'd go over that again, because it's rare, because people don't tend to do that, deliberately or otherwise. Alright, so Master A1, bonk. Yeah, I was him, he hit me into that bumper. But sometimes it's better, like, I'd rather hit a bumper than a wall. So I think I deliberately hit the bumper, I think I hit, yeah, there we go. So I actually leant right, because I'd rather hit the bumper than the wall. It's not for the first time. In this video, I've deliberately hit a red, because it's better than the alternative. It's funny how that works. And here's another example where if I boost early, it's easier, because I'm still boosting to here, right? And it makes it hard to sort of direct the car. I'm boosting all the way here, so I want to be over here to the left, this track, in order to avoid these bumpers, but I'm here, so that line, that gap between the bumper and the wall is quite small from this angle, but it's wide, you know, if I take it wider, it's bigger in a sense. So yeah, so that means I scrub loads of speed like that, 420, 420. And that was because I delayed the boost at the start. So that's a good example of where you think delaying the boost out of this section is actually faster. Well, sorry, it's safer rather. But it's actually counterproductive, because I end up holding on to speed too long. Whereas if I had what I did nearly, if you hit this, direct the vehicle, then boost immediately, it's faster. And while you think it might be less safe, it means I'm probably no longer boosting by this point, or rather here, right? So I'm still boosting to like here somewhere, and because of that, I can more easily direct the here. Oh god, so on the crap. So yeah, I'm still boosting to around here. I'm still in boost. So it's boost control. If you're over 460, it'll handle differently. So I'm still in that situation around here. Whereas if I'd boosted earlier, I would be over here to the left, and I'd already have toll control. And that would make a huge difference. Just that little gap would make a huge difference. And it may have cost me first. It probably didn't. I think Morgie was too close and had a perfect exit. So, well done to them. But I can't complain about that CMP. That was a really strong CMP. 252. We won with a 155, but a 252 gets us second. So funny how that works out. Pink Bull's absolutely schooled everyone there. But we're miles ahead of everyone. I mean, the top two, has a big gap to everyone else. But yeah, can't complain. So, we had a really good event overall, because we had two really good CMPs. And this is the final results. And I, despite ranking out, actually came third. So, you can see Venus, aka Morgie, winning with quite a big lead. They're the only one to survive every CMP. And then Full Color just sneaks past by 5 points. So, had I survived Whiteland 1, I would have needed to survive. If I'd have survived the other CMP, I would have won by the minimum of it's 40 points or something. I think I would have got I would have got 700. I think. Right, eighth place gets you sorry, 65, and then 11th is about 100. So I would have won by, total is about 120. So I would have won by maybe not that much, actually, not that much. But Morgie survived everything. The only one to do so. So credits, and that shows how tough it was. That shows the high quality it was. That out of 3 CMPs, nobody survived them all. That's a real surprise. But so I think there we go. We got the bigger breakdown. So, two players got 2 podiums and a rank out. That was me and Pinkles, I think. So, yeah. So I got points for. Yeah, you didn't get points for ranking out. So you can see the problem. It was the 30 points right in the middle. If I'd picked Ray, if I'd survived White Line 1, even picking Ray and surviving White Line 1, right? If I'm able to get near 100, like if I get like 80 and then get another 80 in White Line 1, that's an extra 130. And that would have meant that I wouldn't have mattered what happened in Silence 2. So there's something to think about there, about how best to approach CMPs. Really, I think that the rule is going to be, unless the final race is Deathwind 2, and or the middle race is Sandstorm 1 or something, you really never, well, no, it would be Sandstorm 2, but whatever, unless it's really strong in favor of it, you'd never really want to be anything other than a Ray when you see Sand Ocean. But forgetting that, I'm so happy to come third, because it was a hell of a lot better than I expected. So, really good events, really good fun. Sad it'll be the last one, but that's how it goes. So yeah, GG's.